Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. Some few hours ago, Timmy Frank, a human rights activist, has sent warning signal to international communities, the likes of United States of America, UK, EU, AU, ECOWAS, and the likes, to stay clear of the 29th of May inauguration or swearing in of Bola Tinubu into Aso Rock presidency in Nigeria. But to make matters interesting, looks like this is the time where everyone, from all indication, is trying to open up everything they have been very diplomatic about, telling Nigerians exactly what may be said. Although some obedient, some Labour Party members and some other well-meaning Nigerians who have followed the polls discover some discrepancies in Rivers State, but right now international media are also carrying this same news, and this time around there seems to be no hiding place for both Nyesom Wike and Bola Tinubu in this particular one. Before we go into the news proper, I would like to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. All right, we're going to go through this very quickly. Just follow me as I go through this. And many BAT members have actually been calling this propaganda. It is not sponsored post and it is not propaganda. It is verified. Well, according to the news, a BBC investigation have found evidence suggesting some results from Nigeria's presidential election may have been manipulated. The winner, Bola Tinubu, is due to be inaugurated on May 29th, but the opposition is challenging this. The BBC has uncovered significant anomalies in Rivers State, a key battleground, although not sufficient to change the overall national outcome of the election, which took place in February. There are also questions over the identity of the election official who read out some of the unexplained results. On 25th February, Nigerians cast their vote at thousands of polling stations across the country. At each polling station, the vote for the party of each candidate were publicly announced and the result sheet taken for collation, first at the ward level, then at the local government LGA center. An election official from each LGA then traveled to the state capital where this result was officially declared. For the first time in a Nigerian election, photographs of the polling station result sheet were published online by the Electoral Commission. This made it possible to add up all the polling station sheets to compare them with the result declared at the state level. But what we found in Rivers is that we added up the voting tally sheet from all over 6,000 polling units in Rivers State, where many of the opposition complaints had been made. While the official result in this state gave a clear majority to Bola Tinubu of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, our tally suggested that Peter Obi of the Labour Party had actually received most votes in the state by a wide margin. We found an increase of just over 106,000 in Mr. Tinubu's vote in the official declaration when compared with our polling station tally, almost doubled his total in the state. In contrast, Mr. Obi's vote had fallen by over 50,000. It's important to make clear that although we searched through the election website for every single one of the 6,866 polling stations in Rivers State, we were not able to obtain results from all of them. Some were incorrectly uploaded, others were missing even after a month from the date of polling. For about 5% of the polling stations, the photos of tally sheets were too blurred for us to read. It's reasonable to assume that the official count would have included these as they would have had the original document. In another 17%, there was no results at all. Many of these would have been places where no voting took place due to security issues or the non-arrival of voting materials. Others had technical problems preventing officials uploading the document. So there clearly would have been more polling stations included in the final official result that weren't included in the BBC investigation. However, these additional tally sheets would have increased the totals for each party, not decreased them. And what we found was that the vote for Peter Obi's Labour Party had decreased sharply in Rivers State. So how can the sharp fall in vote for Peter Obi in the official result be explained? Well, two areas stood out. The first was the Oyibo local government area where we found that, one, the vote of Bola Tinubu was 6 times larger in the officially announced result compared to the polling station count by the international media. Peter Obi's vote had been cut in half. Now, the second local government area where we found major discrepancies were in nearby Obiokpo. One, the official result of Mr. Tinubu was 80,239 votes, but we counted just 17,293 votes from the polling station tallies. The count for Mr. Peter Obi was announced officially as just 3,839 votes, but the international media counted 74,033 votes for him on the tally sheet. There was also a large swing to Tinubu and away from Obi in Obiokpo. Now, so how did these differences really occur? Well, as explained earlier, all the polling station sheets are collated at local government LGA headquarters. We found an official election document with these collated votes for Yibo area signed by an election official and some of the party agents. Several different photographs have been taken of it and uploaded on social media accounts. The numbers in the document closely match our own tallies for the two leading candidates, that's Obi and Tinubu. This would have been one of the 23 collation sheets from local government areas in Rivers State taken to the state capital, Port Harcourt, for the official declaration. Broadcast live on television on 27 February in front of a bank of microphones, Oyibo election official Dr. Dixon Ariaga announced his name and that he worked for the Federal College of Education, Omuku. On the recording, the word Omuku is indistinct, but there is only one Federal College of Education in Rivers State. Dr. Ariaga then read out the result for each party in alphabetical order, including for all the smaller parties. They all matched those on the collection sheet that the international media had obtained, but when he reached Mr. Tinubu's APC, instead of saying 2,731 as written on our photograph of the sheet, he read out 16,630. Then for Mr. Peter Obi's LP, the figure changed again. Instead of the 22,289 seen on the sheet, he announced 784 rather, more than halving his vote. The mystery surrounding Dixon Ariaga, we asked the Electoral Commission if we could speak to Dr. Ariaga, but they would not give us his details or reach out to him for us. We spoke to the election official seated next to Dr. Ariaga, but she told us she wasn't authorized to talk to the press. So we sent a photographer, we sent a reporter to the Federal College of Education in Omoko, about 2 hours drive north of Port Harcourt, where he said he worked when he introduced himself. The Deputy Provost, Moses Ekpa, told the international media from our records, both from our payroll and from our human resources, there is no such name in our system and we don't know such a person. Haba, Nigeria! We tried tracking him down on social media and eventually came across another Facebook account for someone in Port Harcourt. Those profile details had the name Dixon Ariaga. When we compared an image from this account to the television pictures of Dr. Ariaga using Amazon software, we achieved a match of 97.2%, indicating a very high possibility that they are the same man. Dr. Ariaga did not respond to messages sent to us to this account. By reaching out to his social media friends, we did finally manage to speak to a man who said he was a relative who was at first willing to help us but then didn't return our calls. Now, what have the authorities said about this? We put these findings as to Nigerian Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Johnson Sini Kim, in INEC regional spokesman in Port Harcourt, told us that due to gross shortage of time and personnel, they had needed to take on some people without verifying their identity document. Referring to Dr. Ariaga, he said if he had presented himself as a lecturer from college in Omoko and is otherwise, then he is dishonest. We also approached INEC's headquarters in Abuja for a response to our findings of discrepancies in the results in Rivers State. We were told that they were unable to comment due to ongoing legal challenges. This is just one case in one state in southern Nigeria where the evidence points to the result having been manipulated. On their own, these altered results would not have decisively swayed the outcome of the presidential election. Bola Tinubu won national presidential vote by 1.8 million votes. over his nearest rival, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP. We are still looking for Dr. Ariaga to respond to the findings in this report. Wow. Now you've heard it all. This is coming from international media, so there's nothing like propaganda in it. You can go verify. Let's go wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take? Are we truly going